Okay, we are recording. All right, this video, buddy, is about that grease gun, and I'm just going to play the little intro that'll kind of make things make sense to you, and then it'll show some pictures of some of the things. I'll switch over into the Fusion where I reverse engineer and design the part, flip into Slicer, and then kind of wrap it up. Okay, so, oh my Lord, excuse me. Da, da, da. Okay.
Hey, buddy. Okay, so you remember this total and complete pain in the butt grease gun that you and I fought with for months? I mean, on and on and on. And it's like, there's no reason why this thing won't prime and put out grease. There's a reason for it.
You might recall that I was looking at buying one of those DeWalt grease guns for like 400 bucks. I was so fed up with this thing, and the you get the backhoe and the articulate loader and the bucket truck and the forklift and on and on and on. All this equipment, that gobbles up a tube of grease at a time. I mean, so if you try to pump that, you'll be worn out. And now, oh, wait till you see the end effector I got on this thing. It's super sweet.
And here's my theory. This is the plunger that goes in the barrel, and the spring pushes on it, and this thing goes in. Let's cover with grease still, so it's kind of nasty. It goes into the plunger, and then it just pushes. It seals on the against the inside of the grease gun cartridge tube, and the spring pushes it and forces the grease into the pump. Well, this thing was broken. And my theory is that it was allowing, throwing this damn thing away, getting it out of my world. My theory is that it was not allowing it seal, and it has to have a seal for the pump to work. I don't know why. Okay. So what I did, and I'll show you the pictures and all that stuff in the video, in post, in editing, as us in the biz say. I just reverse engineered the thing, and I
It would be we in the biz.
took some of that red flex rubbery filament that we had, printed one. I did it with a 0.3 layer thickness, and the thing fell apart. I figured it was moisture infiltration, but I don't think it was, because when I changed it to a 0.1 millimeter layer thickness, it's strong. It's a wonderful, perfect part. I put that in, put the spring in, put all this thing together. Immediately, as soon as I hit the trigger, it's pumping instantaneously. So it's pumping out of the this relief valve here. So I close the valve, start squirting out there. Now notice this thing. Ba-ba. Right now, remember how you used to fight with it to try and get the other old one off the Zerk fittings in the bucket truck? I mean, because some of those were captured and you couldn't turn them off to the side. Not anymore, Jackson. You just push this little lever and it loosens up. It just falls off. But it'll stay on with the death grip. So, this thing is now the golden child, and the only wear item in it is that plunger seal. So as soon as if this thing ever wears out again, which it's much tougher than that piece of shit was. So if it ever wears out again, we'll just print another one. Now we get another 5 or 10 years out of it. So, all right, I'm going to go ahead and put this video together. Love you very much, bud. I know that you're going to be like, thank God that dragon is slayed. And you are redeemed. You are redeemed, because this thing gave you fits after fits after fits. I mean, I think you were in tears, practically in tears one time. It was just, you took it apart and put it together and took it. It wasn't you. It wasn't me. I think it was that seal. Works like a champ now. So, world-class grease gun. Whenever you get back here, uh, it'll be a piece of cake of greasy equipment. Love you, buddy.
Okay, so this is the printed. Let's pause here, and we'll switch over to the CATIA window. Uh, okay, so here we are with this. This is the I just designed. I mean, I'll just go through the. It's a pretty simple process for this for the way this thing. Okay, yeah, it's all right. Go to another timeline here. So we just I guess you just you can click on it, right click on it. What the fuck? Come on, guys. Well, I just grab this and just slide it back there. Oh, that's sweet. Okay, learning something new. So I extruded it at the full diameter, um, and then actually no, I extruded it to the diameter of the minor diameter, which is 1.93 inches, I think. And then I put some draft on it. It brought the this top portion up here, this edge here, up to 2.13 inches. No, 2.23 inches. And then moving through the timeline, shelled the part to 100 thousandths wall thickness, and I just took a shot at whatever I thought would work there. Okay. Uh, okay. So then we had to fit. There's a plastic uh, backing plate that goes in here and kind of it supports the rubber so that it doesn't completely collapse and keeps some pressure on the inside of the tube. And that goes it snaps into here, but there's a little bit of I customized it a little bit here by there put that little fillet in there so things don't get too loosey goosey in there, starts wobbling around, and then I put a chamfer here, 45-degree chamfer, because it's getting printed in this orientation. So this is on the bottom of the build plate. So I didn't want this. I wanted this to be nice and crisp. So I put a 45-degree chamfer in there. Whoops. Come on. And then put the hole in, and that was kind of it. Oh, I created a plane. I created a plane because I needed to put a this plane here. I've created that plane there because I needed to know what the diameter of this thing is at the top of the plastic, because it's going to force it. It's going to force it to this diameter here. So we created this. It's that sketch, yeah. And I could turn that plane back off. So this right here, I needed to know what is the diameter going to be at that location, and it was 2.164, which is a perfect fit for inside of that cartridge, the grease cartridge. So there's that, and then we'll pop that out, and then we'll switch over to slicer, Prusa slicer. Whoa, I don't know why that happened. Uh, anyway, so you'll see the settings. Initially, I had this to 0.3, and we ended up with this mess here. It literally, I mean, it was like you can see it like this is how it came off with this little bit of a gap here. That gap, well, there was three of those gaps, and the thing it just didn't want to stick to itself at all. I was thinking, oh hell, I'm kind of screwed. I'm gonna have to dry this material, but let me bring down that layer height to zero point 0.1 and give it a shot. Otherwise, I'm going to have to take that roll of filament, put it in the oven at something above 212 degrees for an hour or so, and just boil the water out of it, dry it. Well, the point one worked spectacularly, as evidenced by the pictures. Oh, that's interesting. Why is it doing that? Not quite sure why it isn't playing. Oh, it's because it's blacked out.
Hey, buddy. Okay, so you remember
um,
this total?
Fast forward to there. You see this? That's what we ended up. once I set the layer thickness to 0.1 millimeter, it gave us a absolutely spectacular part. That is the little plunger deal that fits inside the plunger seal. And you can see, it's got this diameter. This thing's, I pause it here. So you can see, actually, let's go to the next picture. Yeah, you can see it's got that radius there, which fits in, and then the hole where the bolt goes through the stick, the rod, whatever. Now you can see these guys snap together, and you see that little lip I created in there. This fits, just snaps right in there. Absolutely, I mean, dude, this came out so great. So we'll go and proceed with these pictures. A little bit of hokiness there. Can't explain that. It's some artifact. And then here it is assembled on this plunger shaft, and then that here with the washer. And when it's in the grease, this sits on top of the backside of the grease. This whole thing just slides right through into the tube of grease. Okay, so that's that. That's the video of that done. Da, da, Katia window. And so these are the settings here. I just put it to 40 perimeters, just some huge numbers so that it was a solid. And then we slice it, and we got nice concentric rings here all the way through. The whole thing is thick. And notice how it thins out there a little bit to capture that plunger support flange, and then just comes down. It's nice and thick on the bottom. Everything's 100 thousandths thick. Part came out super beautiful, super beautiful. And I had the settings for the Flex, the Fiber Flex 40D, which you and I printed some stuff together a while back. And so that's it. I'm super happy. This thing came out spectacularly, and that grease gun, it instantly started pumping grease. I was just like, yes, thank the friggin' Lord. So, and then that new, I don't know, end effector or that goes on the Zork fitting, um, collet, I guess you'd call it. That thing, I am so excited about that. That is going to make life so much better. So I'm just over the moon, and I hope you are too, because I know that thing is just giving you massive fits, and you were at the end of your rope, and I have been too 100 times. I gave up. I was going to throw the damn thing away. I figured it was done for. But then I saw that hole in the plunger seal, and I'm like, I wonder if that's like maybe letting air pass. If you recall, the thing would just leak the grease oil, the liquid out of the grease. It would just leak it everywhere. That's because that seal's gone. So when you see a grease gun that's doing that, the only place that can be coming from is on the back side of the cartridge. It's not going to come from the other side. The other side's sealed and pressurized. It takes thousands of psi, so it's not leaking. So you got a bad seal when you've got grease spilling out. This is a revelation for me. I've just put up with that nonsense for all these decades. Now I know. Now I know. So whenever you guys have this problem, and this goes to the people in the community too. I mean, this video is made for an audience of one, my magnificent son, but there's tons of dads out there who have had unwanted divorces forced on them, and they're separated from their children unwanted, and they're or just guys that want to teach their sons or daughters, in this case, how to fix a grease gun. But the dominant thing on this channel is machining and manufacturing and performing in the aerospace realm. So I'm addressing it to everyone because I want to help everyone. But the one I love is my boy, and I love you, son. And I hope I hope this brings you a little bit of joy and a little relief, knowing that good old dad fixed that finally, and it's never going to be a problem for you again. So let's hover over the stop recording button. I love you. Let's have some grease gun fun. See you, buddy.